All right, we're back. Hello, everyone. I know
Good
it's been a long
afternoon.
time. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well, even though nobody probably ain't clicked on this live yet. But still, how y'all doing? But yeah, it's me again, brother David. Nice to meet you guys again. Um, this is my wife, Sister Kevana. Um, yeah. All right, let's get down to business. So, just to reintroduce ourselves, my name is Brother David from Church of God, the Bibleway of Lakeland, under the leadership of Pastor Ray Johnson Jr., District Elder Ray Johnson Jr., excuse me. Um, his wife, First Lady Johnson, Sister Kevana.
I'm his wife, Sister Kevana Brown,
Yeah, my wife.
under the same leadership. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, so just to recap, me and Sister Kevana has been married for about a little over 3 years, continuing, going on strong, you know. And we have one child currently and one that's due just about any minute now. Yeah. So if this live click off, you know why. Pray for us, please. Amen. Yeah, we have one daughter. She's 1 year old, almost 2 in a couple of months. Her name is Jenna. And our new baby is going to be Karis. Yeah, it's a unique name, I know. Yeah, we just thank you guys for joining us and tuning in on today as we just talk and discuss. So what we're going to do today is just a little bit different than what we normally do. We're going to kind of throw questions at each other just to put each other in different scenarios and see how see the responses we can get from each other. So I'll let Sister Kevana do the honors. Oh my gosh, of going first. So, yeah. So, what you got, baby? Thinking about it.
Okay. Um, like my husband said, we're gonna just be throwing questions at each other. Just different questions about, anything pertaining to marriage, like responsibility, or what, basically more in depth of what we're responsible for and what we hold each other to, and also like questions like people that's looking into marriage or that is about to go into marriage or have cold feet, those type of feelings. So
And hot feet.
okay. And hot feet. So my first question would have to be to my husband.
Yes. How are you doing today?
For someone that is a for someone a male, from a male perspective, for you, how was it, the transition, or how was it for you when you was about to get married? Like, when you knew, like, the next day, you about to just say yes, and was you nervous? Was you having cold feet? Was you like, maybe we should wait, think about it?
Man.
What was your fear? Did you have
So
any
we finna go through
fears?
that right now. Okay, fine. See, she do this to me all the time, I guess. Yeah, throw out the dirt, I guess. But no, just to be real, I asked this Kevana on multiple occasions, would she marry me? It was always yes. But I did that because, like, YouTube, and you see people who get to the altar and be like, will you marry me? And then they be like, no, I changed my mind. Or you have the runaway brides and stuff like that. So I actually asked her, do you know how many times I asked you?
No, I don't know how many times.
It was quite a bit of time. And the only reason why I did, like I said, because I wanted to make sure that, this was something that she really wanted to do. Each time she never changed her answer. It was always yes. But then on the wedding day, like, excuse me, on the wedding day, she was walking down the aisle, and, she was, she looked, beautiful, fine, and walking down the aisle, and, everything looked good. And then all of a sudden she started crying. So I'm thinking in my head, like, man, maybe she changed her mind. So those are just the type of thoughts that was going through my head. I had to grow up very early, so I had to have a level of maturity at a very early age. So marriage was always like, it wasn't nothing that I had to, it wasn't not like no step up that I had to do. I considered myself at that time and now to be very mature. And I'm not trying to lift myself up. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys. I consider myself to be a step to towards to taking that level of responsibility of a wife and starting a family. So that part of that aspect of it, I wasn't really worried about. Like I said, the only really thing I was worried about is walking up to the altar or having a runaway bride or something like that. That was honestly my only worry. What would you say to that?
Okay.
I told you this before, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
What you thought about that? So did you have doubts or second thoughts?
No, I didn't have any doubt. My answer isn't going to change, whether I was scared or not.
That's good. I like that. Yes.
Okay, but I think I remember asking my uncle a question. I think I asked him, do you think I'm ready? Or I was asking myself, per se, like, am I ready for this? But
Were you ready?
I feel like it was just cold feet, like the jitters. I didn't want to run away or whatever. But I mean, how my heels were so tall that day, man. I wasn't going nowhere. But
bro, that'd be the first thing to go. You don't watch them videos? They take them heels off and they out of there. But anyway, sorry, y'all. We get sidetracked like that. But I remember you telling me like that you didn't feel like that you was ready for the responsibility of taking care of a household, right? You remember telling me that?
I think I said a husband.
Oh, a husband. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you didn't. What? Say it again.
I said that because of how I was raised, the only thing I was really afraid about with getting married is the responsibility of taking care of a man, my husband. I wanted to make sure, that I was ready, but the way I was raised, I felt like I didn't have I didn't have like all the training that I need as far as loving a man, because I didn't have a father figure in my life. So when it came down to that, like when it came down to somebody that's supposed to take care of me, I'm getting married to a man that, I have to make sure, or I have to look up to and make sure that he is a man that he's gonna take care of me. So basically saying, to have to give that trust, give that love to somebody that I know is supposed to take care of me, but I didn't have that, growing up in my household. So there was things that I was like missing.
Yeah. So let's elaborate just a little bit for those who are in similar situations. How important is a relationship with your pastor in them times where you don't have a father figure or you don't have a father per se in the house or a relationship with your father? So how important was that role with your pastor? How important of a role did that play into your life and in getting married?
So
I never asked her these questions. This is pretty good. Go ahead.
Having a father figure is very important, to have. Only because with my experience, I would say I've seen a lot of examples where people just went astray and just went, left because they didn't have a father figure. Or that was an excuse that they used, to do what they wanted to do. But in my case, that wasn't me. I didn't let what other people lacked affect what, who I wanted to be or what I wanted to do. It didn't affect me in a negative way that much. I would only say that I had communication problems.
Okay.
So with having a relationship with your leader, someone that is your father, in the church, my pastor, I would say I didn't lack anything when I came to Bibleway. I had that father figure there. Also, I had my uncle who was my father figure as well. So in a way, we didn't lack the father figure, like when we came to church. Like that role was fulfilled when we came into Bibleway. So I thank God for that.
Well, that's pretty good because a lot of people don't have those type of situations. Because I did have to, talk to them beforehand just to like, I guess you could say get their blessing or whatever. To basically, I mean, I had to go through Apostle anyways. You know, that was her pastor. I had to go through him anyways. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about that or going around that. But at the same time, you do have people who, you know, who try to look out for you, who try to, you know, make sure you got the best intention. They have the best intentions towards you. So I kind of got a lot of pushback, and she did as well with me. I got a lot of pushback from those who were around her. Not because they was like, okay, you two this and you two that. It was just they was making sure that, okay, this is a big step in your life, right? This is a big step in your life, and we want to make sure that this is not just, you know, a little fling, and then y'all talking about getting married, and marriage is for life. We all know that with one person, once you marry, that's it. So I had a lot of pushback for those people, but at the same time in my mind, I was reassuring myself, like, you know what, it's my pastor, and her parents, and her parent. And those are the only people I was worried about. I wasn't worried about, you know, that person. I wasn't worried about, I ain't giving no names, but I ain't worried about nobody, no distant relative, or I don't care what nobody got to say. As long as we was in communication with our pastors and with her mom, those were the key people in our circle in that time. Because, like I said, she had pushback from my family and friends, and I had pushback from her family and friends. Everybody wasn't rooting for us. A lot of them said we was too young. I mean, I got married when we was 19 and 20 years old when we got married. So, you know, a lot of people, like, okay, looking at these two kids, like, man, y'all not ready for marriage. That's the first thing that popped in people's mind. I don't know why. When you think of somebody at a young age, you don't know what that person been through. You're just looking at their number. You don't know how mature they are. But when it came time to talking to those people, I had no problem talking to them. You right? You remember that? When those people came, I had no problem sitting down, like, answering their questions. I ain't have no problem with that. Because it wasn't going to deter me no matter what. No matter what type of intimidation there was, no matter what type of relationship they tried to force or anything like that. None of that stuff was going to intimidate me because I had my pastor, I had my apostle, which was her pastor, and her mom's permission. So we was good in that area. What do you think about those people who are getting pushback from family, right? And then they get discouraged and take family's advice over, you know, the suggested advice from their leaders and those who are in their corner.
Okay, so as far as that, I would have to say, like my husband said, we was getting pushed back quite a bit. I would say around that time, it was a little bit of a discouragement in a way, because you wouldn't expect those people that you really looked up to say that.
Right, even with good intentions.
Even with good intentions, you wouldn't think those people, you know, would say, you know, oh, you guys are not ready, or look at him or look at her, you know, is she even ready for this? Like, how is she, you know, just random questions, you know, and from people that don't really even know you, right, per se.
Girl, you better talk. You all right?
Okay.
Go ahead, girl.
So, like my husband was saying, just keep your leader, you know, in your circle. Keep your parents, you know, and also, who's ever important to you in your life, because, you know, some people, they don't have their parents, you know, but most importantly, keep your leader, and whoever, you know, is your guardian or your parent, you know, at the time, make sure you keep them in the role. And after that, I mean, nothing else matters. Nobody else's opinion matters.
Right.
Whether it's your friend, somebody that you looked up to, somebody that you love, somebody that you thought was going to be on your side, you know, or excited for you, but they wasn't, you know, that was a little bit of discouragement on my end. You know, people that I thought was going to be excited, you know, and like, oh my gosh, you're about to get married, but I got the opposite, you know. But at the end of the day, it's your decision, not theirs, you know, and, you know, you choose what's best for you. And, you know, put you first, because it's your special moment, it's your time. And as long as my husband says, as long as your leaders know and your parents know, then that's it. Nobody else matters.
And we're not saying that we're just going to disregard them. Like I say, we did on both ends. We did hear them out, hear what they had to say. And then also to dispel any thoughts or any I'm not gonna say the name, but I had a person on her side come to me like, because of my age. It was like, okay, you're not grown. Why are you trying to get married or something of that nature? So I sat down with that person. I asked him. I said, what are your requirements of being grown? Just like that, in a calm manner. I just said, what are your requirements of being grown? Because they came to me sideways, so I just wanted to clear up any issue. And they began to name some things. I said, I got that. They named some other things. I said, I got that. They named some more things. And I said, I got that. So you can look at somebody and just have your assumptions, but until you actually sit down and talk with that person, you don't really know. You're basically just going off of what you think.
Or their age.
And their age and just your outward, being prejudiced, basically. And prejudice just means prejudging people before you know them. Prejudge. So just a little lesson right there. Anyway, so let's get another question. What you think we should go into next? Give me something that you think that's far left.
Okay, so...
Or let me give you something that's far left.
Yeah, you can ask a question.
All right. How about you have a young lady who's being pursued by more than one individual? What you think she should do in that point? Because you dealt with this a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
I told you I was going to get her one time. I got her at least one time.
Okay.
The question is, what advice would you give for those who are being pursued by more than one individual at the same time? Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. So I did have a little experience with that, being pursued by more than one person. It was kind of different for me because my intentions was not marriage, and I'm
just that good, right? Yeah, I know.
So, like I said, my intentions was not marriage, but, I did have friends or people that you were interested in me that I was talking to, and not talking as in dating, just talking as in hanging out, But when it get to that point when that person says they like you, then you have to step back and be like, hold on, wait.
Just get clarity, right?
Yeah, get clarity, be real, hey, I love your company, but I'm not looking for marriage, or I'm not looking for
question. Go ahead. Sorry? I said I thought it was a second question.
Or I'm not looking for, a relationship. So you have to be totally clear and don't drag anybody along, because I did experience that once with dragging someone and it didn't turn out as great.
You ain't got to go into details now.
Yeah, I'm not going into details, but I'm just saying,
trying to make nobody mad here.
That's not something you should do. Yes. Okay.
So what advice would you give, if you was to sum that up, what advice would you give those who are pursued by more than one person?
I would say, if your intentions are, marriage, or, you're somebody that want to be married, or, and you're being pursued by more than one person, I would say, choose the person that, like we said before in our other videos, somebody that you're compatible with, someone you can trust, someone that is going to be on your side, someone that is basically, in our situation, we had a lot of things in common, so that's why it was easier for us, it was easier for us to transition into the marriage stage, because we had a lot of stuff in common. So just have somebody that is your best friend, that you can trust, you could talk to about anything, well, not anything per se, because there is a line if you guys are not, married or, dating or whatever, but just make sure it's somebody that you really see yourself with, and that have I'm not saying if they do have all you want on your list, then be my guest. But if they have majority of it, some things you could compromise with, then still go forward with it.
I heard a list in there.
Yeah, list is things that you're looking for in your spouse.
Well, to segue off that, what happened when you have a flirtatious or considered a flirtatious manner?
Oh, wow. Okay.
How would you approach that situation?
Okay.
I got you again.
Yeah, you did.
Oh
Oh my gosh. You really put me on the spot, bro.
I told you I was gonna get you.
Dealing with someone that
Because the reason why I asked this question because this question was raised in the Yam Convention. Those who have or consider to have, because friendliness can come off as flirtatious, right? Yeah. So what do you do in that situation? I want to hear your response to that.
Okay, so it's kind of two ways to it, I think, because dealing with a flirtatious person, there are people that are really flirtatious and, you know, that's just their personality. And then there's people where they're just friendly and then the other person take it as them being flirtatious. So you have to make sure you tell the difference between the two, or you the one that's going to be in the clouds and then you're going to be stuck up there, you know?
All right, attitude.
So, I'm just saying, but as far as dealing with a flirtatious person, I would have to say, if that's not the type of person that you're looking for, somebody that's flirtatious, because if they, you know, have that flirtatious personality, I'm most likely that you're not the only person that they're, you know, throwing that at, you know. And if that's not something that, you know, you like, or somebody that's good with their words, then, you know, just let them know, like, hey, you don't say like you don't really like that. Just say like, that's not what I'm looking for. You have to word it correctly. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for that person that is flirtatious, and, you know, I'm not the only person that they're talking to like that, because some people talk to everybody like that, flirtatious.
So basically you just saying just go in with some good clarity.
And if that's not something that, you know, you're looking for, then just let them know.
Right. All right, Sister Kevana, girl. I see you.
I'm doing this in labor, okay? I'm biting.
Yeah, you're doing good, babe. You're doing great. Seriously, you are. Round of applause.
Thanks.
All right. We got a few minutes here, so those of you guys, if you have any questions, you can definitely send it to our media team. Mm-hmm. We have a great media team. I want to give a shout out to Cecilia Baywa. She is amazing. and her team, Brother Isaac and others. They do a great job. Every time you see the services go live, or the sessions with Sister Cowart and sessions with Sister Alexis and others, they're behind this. They're doing a really, really great job of reaching out. So if you guys would like to have any questions answered, or even future topics, I mean, throw them suggestions out there. I mean, we definitely don't mind. We do have a media team who does monitor them and get information to those who need it. Also, we only got a few minutes here, so give me a good one.
Okay.
You can do it, babe.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. I love when my husband explained this, because it's something that's really important in the church. So recently, there were conversations where, you know, there's people that used to come to church or whatever. Not trying to bring up another topic or whatever, but they would say, like, you know, the way that certain, like, Bibleway would portray marriage, you know, the reason why a lot of young people wouldn't, you know, do marriage is because of what they heard or what they saw in other people's marriages. But and as far as responsibility, you know, basically saying, like, the woman is, like, in lack of a better term, like the slave, where she had to just do whatever.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so, like, explain, you know, in our marriage, like, what did you expect from me and your wife? Or, you know, what are things that you took and you didn't take, you know, as far as, you know, responsibility and stuff? And what are things that you compromise with?
So we only got a few minutes, so I'm trying to answer this question as quickly as I can. So if I talk fast, please forgive me. What she meaning by that is, before I met my wife, I was talking to a young lady, and her intentions, just by her conversation, I knew her intentions, and I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, right? But I was so caught up in that relationship that I was like, you know what, man, like, I don't care, you know? But I knew it was a dead end. You know, I seen the dead end road sign, and I still went and tried to do whatever I wanted to do. But that way you got to know them signs, and communications is very important to pick up on those signs. Like I said, her problem is that what she stated to me is that she didn't really want to get married because when she seen other people's relationship, okay, all they do is fight, argue, have kids, and, you know, this, that, and the third. You know, that can be that perception as you can look at that. That can be that perception when you can look at, okay, this person marriage is failing, this person marriage is failing, this person marriage, I ain't trying to be like that. I ain't trying to go into church, have baby after baby after baby, year after year after year. Yeah. You know, I'm not trying to do stuff like that, and so I'm not even going to get married. But you can't have that mindset, because if you was to look at every business and they was finna to start a business, they're going to look at every business and notice that every business failed, so I'm not going to start no business. You wouldn't go nowhere to buy nothing. There'll be no business in the world. So you got to have a different mindset. So when me and my wife got together, I told her, you know, when we first got married, I did a whole lot of stuff different than the norm. The first few months, I cooked for my wife. Almost every single day, I cooked for her. It was a long time I cooked for her.
It was almost a year.
Like, I cooked for her. I was cleaning the house. And, man, this girl, I got her used to steak. I was cooking steak, like, every single day, like that type of stuff, because not to show off or anything. I just wanted to show her, okay, this marriage is not finna be a typical marriage. This marriage is not finna be like what you see on TV or anything of that nature. So when I came into marriage with my wife, I basically showed her like, look, we finna have a time of our lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna take care of you. I'm finna take care of whatever we got to do. I spoiled this girl. She's spoiled right now. You don't see the way she act? My goodness, help me. So yeah. So even now, like I said, I just look at her sometimes, I'm like, you spoiled little brat. But I love that. I love that she know that I'm going to take care of her. She know I'm going to take care of the kids. She know we're going to have a great relationship. She know she can always come to me and talk to me about anything, as well as my daughters going to learn that. My daughter, Jenna, right now, oh, my Lord. I would like to take the time out and let you guys know we are taking applications for Jenna. We want to lease her out for a year, so if you guys want to take an application.
Don't be selling my baby.
No, I'm just playing. But I did want to show her, to get back on topic, I did want to show her this is not going to be a typical marriage. So I grew up with great examples. And when I mean by great examples, I mean on both spectrums, on what to do and what not to do in a relationship. I want to do everything this person did, and I don't want to do nothing this person did. That was my thought and my goals. I ain't going to tell you who the people was. You ain't got to be nosy. All right. So when I looked at this, okay, I need to communicate in this aspect. I need to talk about in this aspect. I don't need to do this because it's going to create this. So I took other people who was a four-time before me and used that in my relationship to make my relationship what it is today. So I listened to everything my pastor was saying with communication, and I stressed that over these past few videos because I'm telling you, communication is going to make and break your relationship. So when it came down to my wife, I made sure we kept that communication open. I made sure that I was going to take care of her. She didn't have to worry about nothing. That's why I tell y'all, well, I'm going to tell y'all, find you a wife. Not a girl, not a woman, not a lady, but a wife. If you're talking about getting married, you need a wife. A woman who's going to step into that role of a wife, not just a lady who got the ring. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's responsibilities of a wife. And if that woman don't show them responsibilities or learn the responsibilities of a wife, you got some problems, man. You got some serious problems. I'm not gonna say what consists of a wife. That I believe that's something that you're gonna have to decide on your own. What you think you want in a marriage and what you think you want in a wife, but you're gonna have to find those and then be satisfied with what you find, because ultimately it's what you found. The Bible said, "If a man find a wife," so it's what your desires are, and what you wanted to do. So when I came into my marriage, I had a wife, and time showed me that I had a wife. And a wife is somebody, when you fall on hard times, is there like, look, I'm gonna take care of this while you down. That's my wife. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna take care of the house while you going at work. When I get home, everything's gonna be, when you get home, everything's gonna be taken care of. There was nothing I had to worry about for most of our marriage. There's nothing that she had to worry about with my responsibility for most of just about all of our marriage. Mm-hmm. There was a short window, just a few months of a situation that happened with my job. But other than that, there has been nothing. I mean nothing. With the help of the Lord, to God be all the glory. And thank God for my pastor and the man of God with their help. But I wanted to show my wife, okay, this ain't finna be typical. You know what I'm saying? She finna be like an example. No, she don't have everything that she wants. Like I said that before. She don't have everything she wants, but she do have everything she needs. She never went without. And I can honestly say that. So I show my wife from a male perspective, okay, I can clean, I can cook. I don't want to do that stuff now, but but yeah. I mean, let me see. What is the one thing I hate to do?
Wash dishes.
Look at this girl. She know me. Mm-hmm. I can't stand washing the dish. I hate it with a passion. Oh my gosh, I hate it. But when I had to recognize as a husband, there are gonna be some times that I have to wash them dishes, even though she know I detest that.
It's coming up too.
I can't stand it, man. We'll see. Whatever. I mean, praise God. Hey man, we real on this thing, man. We just like we act here is how we act at home. But I wanted to show her, I definitely wanted to show her a new side of a life. When it came down to our marriage, I wanted to show her, like, bro, look at this. Look at us. Look what we finna do. Look what we finna accomplish. You know what I'm saying? I want her friends to look at her like, man, he take care of her. That wasn't my goal. I mean, I ain't really, I'm gonna be 100. I don't really care about what anybody say. If it ain't my pastor, bye. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't my pastor. So we thank you guys. How was that? That was a good answer? Yeah. Y'all right over there? Y'all pray for Sister Kevana, y'all. We finna have it anytime soon now. Count down the seconds. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so glad that you guys tuned in with us. We do greatly appreciate it, and we do love you guys across the whole body. Those who are of the body and not. Don't worry, you will be soon.
Somebody had said they think I'm having contractions. I am. I'm in labor right now.
Yeah. Y'all got some good eyes. Thank you. And for that person who's seen that, please pray for her. Pray. Lord, in the name of Jesus. God, help us. So, she is having contractions. Her due date is actually in a few days. But Karis want to get out of there right now. She ready to go. Like, man, if you don't get me out of here, I'm going to show you what real pain is. And that's what she been doing. So we do thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, if I was to leave anything after all these conversations, communicate. I ain't going to stop saying it. This is a dead bush that's going to continue to get beaten and stumped and ran over and backed over and forward and back again. So communication is going to definitely be the key. So just try it. I mean, what do you have to lose? Come on, man. Drop the ego. Drop whatever else you got holding on to, the pride. Just talk. Oh, my gosh. If I was sit here and ask my wife questions, I believe she can. Babe, what's my favorite food?
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. Wow. What's my favorite color?
It's red. But black, more black than red.
And what did I say about black?
When you're wearing any other color or you're wearing all white, you're still wearing black.
When I wear all white, I still wear black. That's my saying. So, what else? What's my favorite shoe brand?
Adidas.
I'm
Babe.
just I'm just saying, like, okay, give me your questions. Few I've heard.
What's my favorite color?
It's teal and red.
Okay. What do I like to eat?
You like to eat seafood and ramen. She's a girl.
Okay.
One more.
Shoes.
I have no idea. Heels? I guess. See? And this girl had so many heels when we first got married. I'm like, man, what you gonna do with all them shoes? So, yeah, she had to give a whole lot away and it still filled up our closet, man. So,
God, you had to say that.
yeah. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I know we went rambling on a little bit. Forgive us. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, communication, just talk to your wife. Sit down, pray with her. You know, listen to her prayers. Listen to his prayers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pray together. I mean, me and my wife, when we started praying together, man, we experienced God in a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so heavy to the fact God wouldn't let me go. And just try it. That's all. Just try it out. You honestly ain't got nothing to lose. Get to know your wife. Come on, man. You're going to be spending the rest of your life with this woman. Come on, girl. You're going to be spending the rest of your life with this man. Just make it work. Make it work. All right, girl. See you know. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. I know I keep rambling, but bye.